Hello and welcome to Kick-Ons. Look who's in the chair. Look who is back and in the chair. Richo's gone international. He's not with us, but we have a jam-packed show with the two best analysts in football. Kate McCarthy, K-Mac, welcome to you.
How was your rest last week? I mean, you have such a problem with people or players being managed, and then you were managed yourself. Are you feeling fresh? You're good to go?
Feeling fresh, but I'm concerned about you lot because what I left was destruction. JJ, what have you got to say for yourself?
Not a lot. I've got to say that I'm still leading. How many best analysts in football do you know? Because every time
Just
you
two.
introduce someone and you are on some platforms, let me assure you, they're the best analysts.
No, but I mean
in
it this
football.
time. You two are the best. Well, I thought you were because I had 1 week off and you left me nothing to celebrate other than you, K-Mac. I mean, this was really all we could find with an unlikely goal scorer.
Yeah, I'm liking this anytime value that we've got for the goal scorers. You can find a few little roughies here and there. I mean, Levi Ashcroft coming into this one. In 3 of his last 3, he's kicked a goal or more, and he did it again at $2.35, so it was nice.
Some people think he can't play, he can play.
I think he can play. I think he's got some areas
accuse
to
you.
work on his game. Check that out. All our action Kick-Ons feed. You can follow along for all that magnificent value. All right, let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? This is the over-under score from last week. Now, thank you to my man Richo, who has me 1 away from JJ. K-Mac just solid, just chipping away. But what about our man?
We've got to present something to him. Here's 4.
What a disgrace.
Because he had 4 bagels.
And this is a bit rich. We couldn't just throw the scoreboard.
Let's do it.
No, okay.
No,
That's fair
don't
enough.
let the truth get in the way of a good story. You got a bagel.
Lottie, Willer and Piper, I'll bring these home. We'll have these with a little bit of honey tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What are you going to what happened?
Well, the last time I had a bagel, it's happened before, believe it or not, I bounced back strong, 4 and zip the following week. So
I did say that to the
feeling
producer when he said we should give him bagels. I was like, I feel like that makes him on.
No, we'll get to that
like
later.
MJ in the over-unders. If you just poke the bear, I'm going to get angry.
You've gone big too. We'll get to that later on with our over-unders this week. But without giving too much away, you've put it all out there. All right, who's going to make the wild card? Because the race is on and it is getting tight for that. 4 teams separated by percentage in the race for the top 4 as we have a look at the odds for those teams in their run home.
No one wants to make it.
Now, the Saints, with their lack of travel, so clearly they are the hot favourites to make the top 10, but there's some competition, albeit that the Giants did their best to butcher that against the Bombers.
I think the Saints make it. If I had to pick a team that I want to make it for the sake of maybe taking a scalp in the first week of the wild card round, it would have to be the Giants. I mean, was there anything more GWS than beating Geelong, the Lions, Hawthorn, Fremantle, and then losing to Essendon? Is that not the most GWS thing that could occur? I think obviously the Saints should make it from the position that they're in. They don't leave Victoria for the rest of the year, but I think the Giants are the best hope of us having sort of a bit of an entertaining or a chance of something happening in the first week of wildcard that maybe no one expects.
Well, 2 of those teams, JJ, are playing against each other on Sunday.
Yeah, St Kilda and North, that's effectively a wild card within a wild card, particularly for North and Carlton because their percentage is terrible. So, yes, they're all on 32, but North and Carlton are effectively a game behind because their percentage is so poor. So, interesting. The other thing is, and again, this is why I sit in the camp where I think these wildcard matches should be called something else. I think they should be deemed a separent category, not a final.
I agree with that.
I've given up on that, even though I mention it most times. The team that gets in probably 11 and 12, 11 wins, 12 losses as well, which, I mean, last year you had to win 14. It had to be 14 and 10 to make the final, so it's a big shift.
All right, well, there's the odds for that game on Sunday, and I'm putting both of those coaches on notice that these 2 coaches should be the coaches under the most pressure this year, and for whatever reason, Clarkson's been under more pressure than Lyon this year. No one mentions Ross Lyon.
Ross the boss.
He's got that many friends, and we love Ross, and he's engaging, and we like what he says, but no one ever says, when are you going to beat a good team, Ross? Like, they cannot beat anyone above them. They haven't beaten anyone inside the top 10. And once again, with Geelong last week on Thursday night, they made 7 changes and they just could not move the footy. And once again, you go, oh, well, no one speaks about St Kilda. And then there's Clarkson as well, who's coming into the last year of his contract next year. So the loser out of this game, I would hope the blowtorch is going to be fair and squarely on
Who would you
the
rather be?
coach.
Which coach would you rather be?
I'd probably rather be Ross because for whatever reason he's bamboozled the media and just doesn't come under the pressure. Now you would think those odds there that they knock off North Melbourne again. Their record is really good against them. They're on a 6-game winning streak against North. So I'd rather be the Saints. But gee whiz, they've had a poor year.
Former colleague of yours, are you bamboozled by Ross Lyon?
Well, I was just about to say, is he
You are
not?
bamboozled,
You've been
K-Mac.
bamboozled.
Come on, K-Mac.
Are you not? Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable going into a press conference and asking Ross Lyon a hard-hitting question.
You wouldn't?
No, absolutely not, because I'm going to be belittled or the blowtorch is going to be turned back on me and I'm not the coach of the football club. So I can understand why young journalists go in there and don't ask hard-hitting questions. And yes, that's their job, but the way in which he combats anything negative with something either sarcastic or demeaning is it's exactly why he does what he does, because he sort of, in a way, bullies people to feel a way that they can't ask a hard question. If you're one of his mates that ask it, it becomes a joke, but he doesn't answer the question anyway. So I can understand why journalists don't feel that way. And you can analyse what they're doing and what they're not doing, but ultimately that's how he presents himself, and he gets away with it a little bit because of how he's made people feel in the past.
He's a great deflector, and he's got a president as a cheerleader, which helps as well.
Yes.
So that's in his corner. What about their actual team?
Well,
you two have got different views on Nasiah. He was tagged out of the game against the Cats. Mullen did the job on him. He goes back and does a bit of this stuff. Now, some of this stuff's really good. Like, that's a brilliant kick, really gets them going. What do you expect? Finn O'Sullivan, Kate's probably the one that goes to him. I think that might suit him if he goes and plays genuine half-back. That'll ask a question of O'Sullivan. Do you want to break your structure and play as a defensive half-forward, or do you want to get someone else to do the job?
Yeah, I agree. I think comparing any tagging job to O'Sheen Mullen is relatively unfair to anyone else, because this guy is easily the best tagger in the game, not only for what he does to his opponent, but he's now confident and comfortable enough and knows footy enough to be able to burn his opponent back the other way and score goals on them or test them defensively. So I think Finn O'Sullivan will go to him. I don't think he does anywhere near the job, though, that O'Sheen Mullen does, and I think expecting him to is probably comparing apples to oranges in a way. So can they either get him off the half back and kick in and then push forward? Because I don't think Finn O'Sullivan's comfortable defending one-on-one Naz either deep or at high half forward either.
Love to see him go forward a little bit more. Love it. I
don't get it. I just don't get that.
Him going forward?
He's 5'11". He's as skinny as a rake.
But he's their best kick in the team. Do you want the kick coming out of defensive 50, or would you rather that kick going inside forward 50, which leads to a score?
Well, based on the highlight we just saw with him kicking it off the outside of his right boot, setting up the game, that's what I want to see. Because I think for a tagger, now I don't have a lot of experience in tagging. It's a shame we haven't got someone here who does. Tagging as a half forward when you're a natural midfielder, I think would be a difficult thing to do.
It's hard, but I mean, my record against Andrew McLeod is pretty good. I mean, I did knock off Andrew McLeod a couple of times and he went to half back, so it can be done. All right, it's not about me though. Let's move on because there's another big game. Your Gold Coast Suns, yes, your Gold Coast Suns. Are you still seat 1A in the aeroplane of the Suns?
I am, but unfortunately the flight will have to resume next year.
Yeah. Plane's going backwards, so he's actually at the back now.
Because we've landed.
You've got a lot right this year. That's not one of them.
Oh, yeah, because I'm Robinson Crusoe on the Gold Coast Suns. Everyone thought they were going to be good.
Yeah, but everyone else jumped off. No, I'm stayed on.
Second youngest team that played a game of footy last week. Let's not forget that. I'm out on the season because they're out. I mean, we have to be out. Because,
finally came back.
Well, they've tapped out, so I've got to tap out, and it's been disappointing. I did have them. I had 3 premiership picks at the start of the season. They were 1. Fortunately, Fremantle and Brisbane were the other 2. They've just tapped out. They've just I thought
King's
they'd win that game.
He's gone. He's off to my Hawks, and the genius was sorting him out.
Can you blame him in a way? I mean, it's not
really.
It's not an environment that is suggesting things are going to improve.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give JJ credit. He stuck around longer than the players did this season, so
Thank you.
at least he was on the cause for longer than they, and
that's
the coach
a good point.
as well. So
what about their
done,
lack
JJ.
of accountability, K-Mac? Like, if you're a good midfielder that plays against the Gold Coast Suns, just back up the truck and get yourself 40 disposals.
Yeah, I did this game on Sunday and I could not understand the space that was afforded to not only this man who absolutely made them pay, Marcus Bontempelli, and hit the scoreboard, did whatever he wanted, both defensively and offensively, but any midfielder from the Bulldogs. Ed Richards in the first quarter got the tap in a forward 50 stoppage completely on his own, burnt his opponent and went, and he scored another goal exactly like that in the third term. There was just no accountability in big moments where they needed to make sure that they were switched on, locked down. Marcus Bontempelli, Ed Richards, whoever it was, they were nowhere to be seen, and each time there was just a little bit of a high-pressure moment, they just went to water.
Which means that man may be licking his lips, so you would go the over there.
You'd think so. He had funny game against them last year, 27 disposals, 3 kicks, 24 handballs. So bit of a weird one, but he's going better than he was this time last year. So, yeah, the Suns have tapped out some of that vision extraordinary. It would have been a difficult review meeting for the Suns.
You would hope so, but they knew that was coming and they still did nothing about it. All right, let's move on to one of the better rivalries that we've got in the game, the old Battle of the Bridge. You've got your eye on the Swans taking on the Giants. You want to rewrite the line.
Well, I did, and we'll go with it. Well, the more I look at this game, the less confidence I have in the Giants. The Swans have owned them, 6 of the last 7 wins in the Sydney Showdown. I don't think they like the Battle of the Bridge term for some reason. It's a great term,
it's good.
isn't it?
They should lean into it, which we're going to do on kick-ons.
Well, yeah, we are, absolutely, for as long as we're alive. Yeah, we'll rewrite the line because the Giants are the team, Kate, that are capable of doing the unthinkable for better and for worse. And this mob, Sydney, genuine alarm bells as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've been sort of on watch for them most of the year to work out, can they get this right? Can their, their game style and their ability to adapt stand up to a finals-like game? They were good against Freo. Freo were just better, in my opinion, but I think they're going to struggle when push comes to shove, in my opinion, when a team has the game on their terms and how they're able to wrestle back that momentum from some of the numbers we just saw there. So what are you going with the line in this game? Because I think 10.5 without Toby Green is generous.
Ridiculous.
I rewrote it.
It is ridiculous.
I actually rewrote it the other way around. The Giants getting the job done. But look, I'll probably walk that back. It was just an offering.
Sydney will win this game.
By how many? They're not going very good, Sydney.
14 points.
They're not going very good.
And record that and we'll play it next week.
Just got to... Grundy was airborne early in the season, a few quiet games. Is he a little worn out? He's not a young ruckman. He plays a really combative game. Errol Goulden was desperate to get the footy last week. The query on the Swans is when it gets tough, they seem to be the team that gets overrun and
You've been sceptical all year about the Swans, haven't you? Yeah. And probably rightly so. Now, it's ageing pretty well. All right, let's move into a blockbuster tomorrow night. The D's are flying 9-0 at the MCG. Look at that. They host the Cats there without Max Holmes, Jeremy Cameron as well, and some troubles for your Cats, JJ.
They're not my Cats.
They are.
Well, they're not. They gave me 2 games. I should be filthy on them. One question, Kate.
Yeah.
If you want to, let's flip the script. So if Max Gawn and Cozzy Pickett were not playing for Melbourne and the Cats were full strength, it would be Geelong by how many?
Yeah, I think Geelong in their best sort of way of putting the game together and being able to get the game on their terms without those two. I mean, if you take those two out of a Melbourne side, that makes it fairly difficult, I would think.
So I just look at it that way. For the Cats, no Holmes, he's their best player and most important player, and they'll tell you that. And then Cameron, we know he's their game breaker. So nasty injury, that one, fractured fibula, syndesmosis, unlikely to see him again. I think he's too important to risk him anyway, particularly if they're not a premiership threat. So I think Melbourne, this game opened up $1.90 each of 2. I couldn't believe it. The D's have been well backed, $1.84 last time I checked. I think they'll start red hot favourites.
And we spoke about O'Sheen, Mullen, the best tagger in football, K-Mac, and perfectly suited to Cozzy.
Yeah, Cozzy doesn't typically cope well with a tag. I mean, previous games he's been able to be tagged out of the game essentially. So Mullen will go straight to him. He's dangerous, he's dynamic, but I don't think he has the tank, first of all, to be able to outrun Mullen. I don't know if anyone really has the tank to be able to outrun Mullen. And then Mullen's got a turn of foot which he can keep up with the fastest players in the game.
Yeah, he's dynamic.
I think he's got the ability to do this. I think he goes straight to him, and I think it's going to be a pretty tough evening for Cozzy. But there's a couple of Melbourne players that have been finding the footy plenty. I know without Cozzy it makes it tough. If he is essentially tagged out of the game, I'm going under on that disposal line every day of the week with what we've seen from Cozzy if he's been hard tagged. But can other midfielders from Melbourne get as much of the footy like Tom Sparrow as they have been and be able to get this game on their terms?
The beauty of Mullen as well, he's done jobs on like Nick Watson as well. So Cozzy goes forward, he's actually comfortable playing as a genuine defender. We've loved the who am I's that you've been bringing for us all year.
Well, I'm starting to really reach for some unorthodox topics. Now, these players are the most honest, humble, transparent players
Selfless.
in the competition. So these guys take kick-ins and the lowest percentage of play-on rates. So that means taking the kick-in from inside the square because you don't get the all-important stat.
This can't be a genuine halfback
Now,
then.
the stats are still high, so 79% for Zach Reid. So I can understand why Zach doesn't step out because I don't know that he'd be wanting to take the game on. He just wants to get it as far away as possible. Jaden Short surprised me.
Can we guess or what?
Well, have you thrown up any guesses?
Tom Stewart,
Tom Stewart is not in there.
Callum
no.
Mills.
No, honest player, but not in there.
Damn.
A few of them are quite unorthodox. Let's go with number 3. They're not going to get number 3. Caleb Daniels. So you thought he was just a stat-hungry
I thought he was
AFL
selfish.
fantasy
He's been
guy.
having 40s
He's
lately.
had 40, yeah.
Well, he could have had 44 if he had have run out of the square. Zach Guthrie, not a surprise.
He is a
Zach
good, honest
Guthrie.
human, Zach Guthrie, so that
And
makes
then
sense.
another cat at the top of the list as well.
Not Tom Stewart.
No.
One of the
Humphreys.
Humphreys.
On that left foot. So 2 cats at the top of the list. So maybe they are the most humble club.
What about the ones that always play on? What about those ones that have a 100% strike rate? Is that man?
Bailey Dale. No, Bailey Dale has taken 140 kick-ins this year. No one else has taken over 100. Bodie Hewlin's only taken 98 in second place. So he'll take the most kick-ins for the year and he probably won't play again this year.
All right, well, let's move on to your Dockers.
Would you play on from a kick-in?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I did it a couple of times.
You would have to get it outside 50.
Did it a couple of times. Hey, whilst we're pumping me up, can we just back
What?
back over?
Whilst we're pumping me up.
Back over my call, which
Yes,
is
I've done the
on
numbers.
my feed with the Freo 3 tools,
Yes.
the triple threat, the triangle, whatever you want to call them.
Yes, you got it right.
140 goals I had. They've got 120 already. I'm home here.
So
I am
Amos,
home.
Voss and Tracy, you are giving the punting gods
I am home.
the biggest pinch of all time. You are just asking
I don't
them.
care.
I'm with him.
They
You're
need-
home.
Pay
You're
that
home.
20 more
Yeah.
between the 3 of them.
So they've got 120. They need 20 more.
They play West Coast, then they play the Bulldogs, who cannot defend 3
So they should do it in a
What
fortnight.
were the
I think
odds?
at some point they played
on
Carlton.
that?
$26 it opened,
Yeah.
and it was
Thank
into
you.
$15.
Thank you.
118 lucky sports bet punters listened to you on Fireball and got aboard. So even though you two have just really danced with the devil when it comes to the punting gods,
I do that
it's
plenty
close
and I'm
to
going
home.
to keep doing it. You're
It's
home.
home. That's the numbers for this week against West Coast as well. Who knows who's going to kick him? But one of the
For you,
3.
it doesn't matter.
That does not matter, K-Mac.
Well, this
It
is where
does
the
not
combo
matter.
the combo markets for this game are very, very good. Something like Amos and Voss 5+.
All right, Sam's getting a bit antsy in my ear. He tells me we need a break. So let's do that. We'll be back with plenty more on kick-ons next. Absolutely flying on kick-ons with the best team in the business, the 2 best analysts in football, and they're going to bounce back. I know JJ is determined to bounce back as we get into our over-unders. We have targeted that high-pressure game, the Clarkson-Ross line game on Sunday, and we start with Sheezy Ball, Harry Sheezel at a big number of 32 and a half.
Most difficult one of the lot. I ended up going the over because he can just rack up the footy, and St Kilda games have had a lot of disposals in them. Over, no confidence.
Yep, I've gone under, no confidence, like all my over-unders each week.
I had the same as JJ, but then I thought, well, I'm not going to catch him if we all go the same. So this is the one difference that I had between you. I'm going under on Sheezy Ball. LDU K-Mac.
Well, I've gone rogue because I saw you guys put yours in early, so I just went the opposite to try and make up a little bit of ground. I think under for LDU. I think he might be watched closely by either Windhager or Garcia, and I think they keep him under 24 and a half.
A low number.
It is. I went over, but his last 2 against the Saints, he's had 21 and 21. So they put the time into him 28 last week. So I'll back him to go 25 plus.
All right, I went over as well. Now, this is the bet of the round for me. Nasai's over is low at 27.5. Now, they think Finn O'Sullivan, but I don't know if he's got the wheels to go with him, and he'll probably take 10 kickouts. So, bet of the round over for me. Is everyone the same?
Yes. Particularly if Nick Larkey keeps spraying them around, he'll be able to take.
He'll be able to
plenty of
take a
kick-ins.
lot of kick-ins. Now, Hugo Garcia, I've had a lot of arguments with Saints supporters over Hugo.
Haven't
I'm
noticed.
Not convinced yet he's a bona fide star. They think he is, but he's been getting the agate, and that's pretty low for him.
Yeah, I think this is the best over-under of the weekend
Really?
across the competition. I've had a look at most of them so far. He's covered this line his last 6 games, and
Marvel
sometimes
as well, he's very
easily.
good. Yeah.
So,
Hey, mate, did you go under?
Yeah, I did, just for the sake of trying to get one over JJ or just be one further behind.
worst case, I'll be getting 1 out of 4 because Garcia will be going over.
K-Mac, I feel like you're second guessing yourself. You've lost.
I've done that all season.
Lost a
I've
bit of
lost
confidence.
I'm not an over/under better,
Back
but
yourself.
If you haven't
in.
learned,
It's
even if
okay.
you go 0 from 4, you just keep the faith.
Yep.
Yep, you got a lot of time still to catch him left in the season. Long, long way to go. But what we do have a lot of faith in you is delivering the Carn this week.
Yeah, well, I've got a Carn for JJ who's not happy because he seems to come up
fancy
a
that.
lot in the Carns. But I was just having a look. I was doing a bit of a feed audit across the last
As you
week.
do.
And okay, so here's one from 3 months, 2 months and a month ago. So you've got Zeke Ulen for the Rising Star, Cooper Tremba for the
hang
Rising
on.
Star. Sam Cumming, no, he's now going to be the Rising Star. And I thought, well, surely that's all there is. No, wait, there's 2 more that could also be the Rising Star. Harry Dean could be the Rising Star. Job Shanahan could be the Rising Star. And you can
What is he
absolutely
doing?
guarantee that if any of these get up, he's claiming them and
Exactly.
saying, look what I got right. Well, mate, you've got 5 horses in the same race.
Accounting, please. If
Can't, JJ.
Can't.
You can't get out
Harry
of that.
Dean wins, you're plus 27 units, but we won't get into that. Also, I'm going to go after the 2 most beloved people in the universe. The FIFA World Cup was absolutely magnificent.
Box office.
Spain, the photo. Now, you've been able to have your premiership photo with your teammates, your
That's
head
it.
coach. Who are the 2 young men just on the right-hand side?
Donald.
Donny, get out of the way.
Get off.
Gianni's got the sneakers on. He knew the drill.
he tried to at least move him to the side.
He tried to move him,
Yeah.
but he was
Get
not.
off,
He was
Donald.
stoic.
What's he
knew.
doing?
He knew.
DT.
Read
What's he
the
doing?
room. All right, on the other side of this, K-Mac's got a roughie for us as we continue with the world-famous kick-ons next. Thanks for staying up late with us on Kick-Ons. Hope you've enjoyed the program. K-Mac not having a heap of luck with the overrunners, but flying with everything else.
Yep.
And you're going to step in for Richo with the roughie.
Yeah, Richo hasn't been going so well with the roughie.
You could say that, yes.
So while he's managed, I thought I'd pick up the slack, and I make up my own rules. So we're not going the $10 plus for one of the roughies that I've got. But I like Massimo D'Ambrosio in the game against Essendon because they give up the most disposals to wingers in the competition. He had 27 last week against the Tigers, and I think he finds plenty of the footy in this game. Out on the wide expanses, loving him patrolling the wing, and $3.70 I think is a nice little roughie to start off the weekend.
Been in good form.
He is. And then another player that's in good form from the Hawks. Let's have a look at their run home to start with. So Bombers, North, Lions, Pies, Eagles. And it's a roughie for a reason. But I think the Wizard is a chance at winning the Coleman. He's into $12, so it's a future roughie, but one that's just up on the feed at the moment. So copy that if you want to. But he kicked 5. There's been question marks around whether he can kick big bags. He kicked 5 last week. He's unstoppable when he's in space, and I think he's a chance, an outside chance at winning the Coleman this year.
Currently
like that.
third.
Will you be
six.
what will happen to you if he wins?
I'll get a tattoo. I'll get a wizard tattoo.
Okay.
If he wins the Coleman
You'll
on my
explode.
left butt cheek. Let's get the multi sorted this week. JJ, where'd you take
I've
us?
gone with the D's to beat the Cats head-to-head. Very confident about Melbourne.
Yeah, and we need to get one of these up. So I've gone slightly lower on Massimo's disposals for the multi, 23 plus.
And Josh Ward for me, 23 plus as well. They concede a lot of disposals to the Bombers, and he's been in good form, as have the young Hawks as well. Nice work, team.
Yeah, you were good.
Nice
As the host,
work.
I don't know if we need Jace, but we're being managed as a team.
We're managed next week. We'll see you in a fortnight. Have a magnificent weekend, everyone. Enjoy the footy.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.